Ask Tom on Home Show.
Austin from West Chase, Houston, has a question about a pergola puncture.
Yeah, he removed a problematic pergola and wound up with this puncture in his Hardie, Tom, and he's worried about it. Austin writes to us, the pergola attached to the back of my townhome, and while removing it, I damaged the Hardie, as you can see. My question is, how can I patch the hole so I can paint the area? And also, can I use the same product or technique to fill all the screw holes to prevent water penetration into the Hardie?
Okay, let's start with the screw holes first, because that's easy. Go ahead and just take a putty knife and scrape off anything that's not, just smooth out the screw holes, right? So you don't have any little things sticking out, little pieces of Hardie that might have been damaged when you pulled the screw out. And use an acrylic latex with silicone caulking, an exterior caulking. Caulk those, put a big glob of caulk in there, and then just wipe it down with a damp sponge until it just fills the hole. You don't want to start doing wood filler in those. The caulking will be fine. If it shrinks a little bit before you paint, before you get to the other bigger hole we're talking about, then go back and put a little more caulking in there and wipe it down to where the surface is pretty even on the top. And it'll be it won't be noticeable except if you know where you did it, so you'll be able to see it. But I don't want you to do any more than just the caulking. It'll last forever. As far as that bigger hole, do the same thing. Take a putty knife, make sure you get any of the little chips and stuff off of there so it's smooth, and use a wood filler. You can use a wood filler in there. It's going to take you a few times. Don't overdo it. Kind of do just what you need. Smooth it out. You can even take a little nail or something and try to copy that little grain pattern that you see, that little wood pattern in there, if you want to get creative. But either way, the Hardie doesn't, unlike wood, the Hardie doesn't shrink and swell and rot around that hole. Okay, it's just a hole now. When wood does that, what happens is you use the filler, and then over time water gets in there and the wood starts to rot away from the filler, and then you say, hey, my filler failed. Hey, the filler was fine. It's the wood kept rotting. But with Hardie, it doesn't do that. So if you do it right, take your time, do it a few times. There was one out there I used to use all the time, still there. You can get it at all the Lowe's and Home Depots. It's called Durham's Rock Hard Putty. It comes in a powder. You mix it up to the consistency you want. That stuff dries hard as a rock. You can sand it and you can paint it, and just do the best you can as far as filling it, and don't worry about it. Nobody will ever notice. If it really looks really bad after a while, it's on that little corner. Just take a piece of trim and put it on there, caulk it, and paint it, and look like the trim was supposed to be there.
So you wouldn't recommend that maybe he buys a length of it, cuts it off, matches it in there, and just go ahead and plug the hole with it?
I would just get your artistic side to you. Don't just start gobbing it all over. Play with it. No, make sure you're patient. It's going to take a few days between dry times. And then you can sand it. You can shave it a little bit. And you can just get it smooth and then just paint everything. And nobody's going to care. It'll be fine. And 20 years from now, it'll still be there because the Hardie won't rot around it.
And if you want a question, you got a question like that, a challenge like that, and you want an answer that'll stand the test of time, click on that Ask Tom button. It'll take you to this page where you can choose whether you're going to write to us or you're going to send us a video. We love getting them. And your pictures help a lot, just like it helped us here. You can send pictures. You can send multiple pictures. We're happy to do them because that helps Tom do a better job. He likes helping you, and that's why we do these things. We post a new one of these every day on our Facebook page, on the Home Show Radio YouTube channel, and, of course, at HomeShowRadio.com.